Right.
Oh no, I didn't expect that.
Hey, welcome everybody. This is the Chewin the Fat Cat podcast. This is probably the only Final Fantasy podcast where you can toggle on or off the turn-based combat. I'm your host, Buddycat, and with me is...
I'm Ashen. I just realized I'm using my laptop camera and not my actual camera.
Oh, you know what? It looks fine.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the problem. Maybe the laptop camera is the way to go. I actually couldn't tell. In fact, this morning I was like, you know what? Your camera looks good today.
Yeah, I was during the intro, I was just looking at the camera. I'm like, why is the light not on it? And then I look down just under it. I'm like, oh, the laptop camera's on. All right, it makes sense.
Well, maybe we found the solution. Maybe some of the problems have been like it fighting to decide which one to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Windows makes all that stuff so confusing.
Well, it's sorted for the most part now. I mean, as long as the camera's going, it's going.
Yeah. Speaking of Windows, I just thought I'd touch on this really quick. I mentioned it on our last podcast, but I think I'm finally getting closer to done with Windows. I mentioned it to you already, but just to let our listeners know, because I had mentioned it on this show, I said I would report back. I'm not going to go into it as deep as we did on the other show. I'll just mention it really briefly. That I did finally, with all the hype of the Steam machine and everything, I went in and I set up Bazite, which I had told you already, which is a Linux operating system that specifically is meant for gaming with like a controller only. So I put it on I've got a little smaller case for my old PC, put Bazite on there. It took about 20 minutes to install it. That quickly, I have it sitting under the TV now. I have an 8-bit Do controller in it, and like I don't have a keyboard mouse. It's working just fine. I mean, it's literally a Steam machine, so I just thought I'd report back.
The question though is how many hours have you put on it now?
So, I've played a little bit of Spyro the Dragon. This is my under the TV living room one, which is where I do more casual gaming. Like if I'm doing something serious, I'm like up here in my office, but for that's where I'd usually use my Xbox or my Switch. So I moved my Xbox out of the way. I don't think I need it anymore. Set the Bazite machine there. I just grab the controller. It wakes up from sleep. I played maybe an hour or so of Spyro the Dragon kind of off and on, and then I did a bunch of grinding on Final Fantasy VII, because yesterday in my stream you saw, I won't give any spoilers, but I'm getting closer to the end, I think, and they forced a character into my party that I hadn't been using, and that character was so low leveled that she was just dying repeatedly. So I spent a couple hours just grinding and getting her leveled up to the rest of my party so that I can continue on my adventure. And that's about all I did. I fired up that tower game with the goofy characters, Lucky Tower. That's about it.
Yep. Man, yeah. I need to get back into Lucky Towers myself, but I just haven't had time between all the other things I've been doing.
Oh my God, Lucky Tower is so ridiculous.
It's hilarious. It's so fun.
So what have you been up to before we kind of get into our Final Fantasy stuff? I'm just curious what you've had going on.
Sadly, I had to quickly talk to my neighbors about things, and I don't like talking to neighbors, but as an adult, sometimes you got to do it.
You do?
Yeah, because my fence broke, and so we had to get a new fence out there. I think we talked about this a little bit, but now the date is happening. It's going to be next month, about the middle of 16th so next month. So I had to go to the neighbors that we share yards with, be like, hey, make sure things are 2 feet away from the fence so these fence people can come by and work on it. But luckily, they said it's only going to take like 2 days to get it solved. So,
well, that's good.
Yeah, they'll be in and out of our hair pretty quickly, which is nice.
We had a similar thing happen. We had a fence that fell down, and we didn't hire anybody. The neighbor and I, it took us about a week and a half. We just, we split the cost of supplies, and we just rolled up the sleeves and built a fence, and then we just had a big barbecue when we were done. So,
I have friends and family that can help with that too, and love to do that. We, make some carne asada, use our new Blackstone, but the problem is I have an HOA, and they have strict rules on certain things.
So they won't. Yeah. So it's not even just what you can have and what you can't have. Like it's even the process of how you do it has to be.
Yeah.
So really,
like they have a list of things of people that we can go through and use and all that stuff to try to keep things local, and like it's a whole don't do HOA stuff if you can avoid it. Just don't.
In my mind, HOAs just got 10% shadier than I already thought they were. No, we don't.
Yeah, they're pretty.
We don't have them where I live. We have a bunch of zoning for the. I forget. There's like some initial. I forget what it's called. So it can be set up to do HOAs, but no one's ever done it because I kind of live like. I mean, I'm out in the redwood forest, kind of like super redneckville, and I don't think HOAs would fly very well here. Like people just wouldn't be having it.
There, you know, with all the trash HOAs get, there are some good things. For example, where we live next to like a wildlife preserve, and part of the HOA protects that. So there can be no building or city maintenance or any of that stuff. There has to be protected. Yeah. And some of our HOA fees goes to doing that. So we know that our neighborhood is going to stay. It's not changing. It's not getting redeveloped. None of that stuff. So that's kind of nice. But on the other hand, then you have all these things like, oh, your lawn has one too many weeds in it. You better do something or you get fined, you know?
That's awful. Yeah, I guess I could see some good. We went and some friends and I went and visited another friend down in Sacramento a little while back to go see a concert. And he lived in an HOA, and he said he didn't mind it. It wasn't too much of a pain in the butt because it wasn't too expensive, but they also had a clubhouse with like games and a giant indoor pool and a hot tub and some stuff you could take advantage of. So I guess, you know, that makes it maybe a little better, some benefits too.
Yeah, there's definitely positives, but like the cat fighting is what I don't like about our HOA, because there's like our HOA president is not doing enough, and then some other people are like, well, we're going to undermine them and we're going to try to overthrow them, and it's just, leave me alone.
Yeah, I hear you. You know what? I think you just mentioned something that is a perfect way to segue into our first section. You said cat fighting.
Yeah.
And I have first on our list of stuff we want to talk about. If we want to dive into the news, should we do that?
Let's do it.
All right. Are you ready for this? This is probably, I think most podcasts or gaming websites would probably put, if there's like 20 things that happen, they'd probably put this maybe like number 19 or 20. We're putting it to the top because we're the Chewin the Fat Cat podcast. And there's a new fat cat that is coming out. This is the Jolly Fat Cat. I'm sure you've seen this, right? I mean, this isn't...
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I guess it's going to be a little bit till it comes out. I think at the end of the year. So mark the date on your calendars. It comes out with the art books. There's coming up with a new Dawntrail art book. Now, I have a couple of these. I don't know if you can see them. You see that yellow submarine? Sitting right underneath that is a Shadowbringers and a Heavensward art book, which came with a minion. I got like the Dulia Chai minion with one of them. Yep. So it's going to be like this. It makes it a really expensive minion at $39.99, but they're also really cool books. I mean, they're a couple hundred pages. Do you have some of the art books?
I do have some of them. They're up on my bookshelf over there instead of my D&D bookshelves. But I think Final Fantasy books are really great. Like, and there's all sorts. Like 7 has a few books. You know, On the Way to a Smile, that kind of bridges the gap between 7 and Advent Children. And then Dawntrail has their books and their Ultimanium books too, which tend to have some of the cool things. And this one's got artwork of Queen Spleen and our newest homegirl lady.
Oh yeah. You know what? I don't mean to change the subject here, but I can't believe I forgot this. Ash, can you think of anything that I forgot to bring up at the very top of the show? Anything jumping out on the screen that looks a little different than usual?
Oh, let's see. You're here. My camera's a little messed up. We have Hozaho. Oh, Hozaho's not talking a whole bunch. Normally, he's interrupting us all the time. Not today. Why is that?
You know, he's going to think, oh my God, I can't believe you guys forgot about me. But in our defense, so we fire up the show for about 20 minutes and kind of talk about things. We spent so much time talking about this picture and Hozaho being gone that it just felt like we'd already talked about it. So when we actually fired up the show, I forgot to mention that, Hozaho, however you want to say it, is out. I love that we have a host that we can't even settle on how to pronounce his name properly, but he is gone.
We can't even settle if he's just a guest host or a permanent host yet, so it's always just up in the air.
I know the official listing for the podcast says friends Buddycat and Ashen and sometimes Hozaho.
Nice.
So yeah, but yeah, he should be back next week. So for those of you who are missing Haz, he'll be back. So anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the top of the show. I don't know. We'll have to find out if he's also winning the Fat Cat. But yeah, Fat Cat there. So I thought it would getting back to the Fat Cat, this is the most scattered introduction we've ever had, but you know what? That's okay. We're live. We're professionals. We know what we're doing. On the subject of the Fat Cat, I love Fat Cat so much. You know, I have the Fatter Cat mount, and the Fat Cat's always out. I thought it would be fun to, I photoshopped myself to see what it would look like if we already had the Fat Cat.
Oh, right, okay.
See if I can get this over here. I had it all set up.
Photoshop skills. You even got Cryle kind of staring down at your favorite little purpley Fat Cat too.
Yep, there's the Fat Cat.
She's jealous. Look at that.
Yeah, so this is something I was like, you know, what would it look like if I already had the Fat? Like, how could things have been different? And this is how. But this one right here, so this is really interesting. So I want to show you this picture.
Right.
Do you remember the that's me, by the way, you know, just finishing up the old arcade in there.
Your steampunk hat, your red velvet shirt.
Don't forget
doing a dance with a brand new purpley Fat Cat that you haven't got yet. So on this floor, do you remember the whole thing with the dress going around of like, is it, I forget the colors, is it pink or is it blue? So the Fat Cat on this floor, it doesn't look like it's the regular pink and purple Fat Cat that we just saw. This guy here, this one, it makes it look like, I don't know, somebody pointed out in the Discord that it looked like washed out. It looked like, it almost, if you look at it, looks like it's the brown and orange. Like, I don't know. It's kind of... I can see that from a distance. It's probably because all the lighting that's happening on this event arena where, like, it kind of washes out a little bit. Even my gray and white cat, at certain light levels, it looks like he's brown instead of gray. So
yeah, it's weird. It doesn't, like... There. It's a perfect pink and purple, but for some reason here it looks like it's just like a faded out color. So I don't know. Maybe the Fat Cat is going to be the next. Maybe we can replace what color is the dress with what color is the Fat Cat. I don't know. I mean, some people probably aren't even seeing it because that's the whole thing with the dress, right? Some people see pink, some people blue. Some people are looking at this and probably thinking like, "What are you even talking about?" Like, I don't see anything wrong with it, but it just looks weird to me. Sitting there in that light.
It's because your monitor, you got to adjust the colors on it. It's user error.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, so yeah, new Fat Cat coming out. I think it said December, $39.95 with the Dawn Trail book. I'm sure I'll be picking it up. You know, I don't think I would pay $39.95 just in the shop for a cat. I probably would, but I'll buy the book. I'm excited about the book. All right. The next thing I have here, and this is kind of an interesting one. If you can't tell, there's not a lot of Final Fantasy news. So we're just, you know, I'm kind of looking around and kind of trying to see what I can come up with. And I saw a headline that, like, I don't know, I wasn't even going to talk about this because it's so ridiculous, but it did lead to something that is a little bit more serious. So the headline was like, there's a dating app in Final Fantasy filled with bun boys and modded cat girls. And I'm like, okay, well, when I see a headline like filled with bun boys and modded cat girls, I'm like, okay, I'll bite. So that is, I guess, it's called, let me see if I get this right, the Aetherlove. Yeah, there it is. Aetherlove add-on. So I don't know if you're familiar with this stuff. This is totally out of my wheelhouse. Like, if any, I find this stuff entertaining, but I don't know anything about it, admittedly. I guess it's like Tinder for Final Fantasy, and I don't know if that means that like players are just meeting up in game to like hang out and like RP some sort of stuff, or if this is really like people who play the game that like want to meet in real life and like make a connection. I don't know.
It's probably both.
Probably both.
Yeah, I mean, I know people who have met online and then ended up moving halfway across the United States to meet up and live together and live their lives together and live their lives together in MMOs. So it's, you know, it's a human experience, right? It's a connection thing, which I'm okay with. My only problem is if there's not enough moderation for it on their site, and it gets to be where it's being used in nefarious ways and used to like prey on vulnerable individuals or whatever that might happen, then it could have catastrophic effects. Because from my understanding, This uses a plugin called Deltarune, which is what you use to like get other add-ons and things for the game. Yep. And if this isn't moderated well, it could shut down all of Deltarune, so all the plugins that anybody uses could be wrong, which wouldn't necessarily affect me because I don't use any plugins. I try to keep it as vanilla as possible.
Same.
But I know people who rely on things like this, from whether they need accessibility things through Deltarune or whatever else it might have. It could really make the game a lot harder for other people without it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that seems to be the thing. Like on the surface, it looks pretty silly and pretty fun. And for the record, like I love that sort of stuff. Like when you see like a husband and wife that play together that get married in the game, or like my cat Batman. I met Batman playing Final Fantasy. I mean, we played on different servers. No, I'm just kidding. My cat doesn't play Final Fantasy, but
yeah. We're working on him.
We're working on him. Poor little Batman. No, I mean, I support all that stuff. I think it's cool. I think whatever people want to do to have fun and be social in positive ways together is absolutely great. But yeah, it does bring up that issue of Final Fantasy has as long as you don't talk about it, we aren't going to make a big deal of a policy on mods. And whenever mods start making headlines, which this is, and of course, maybe we're contributing to it. I don't know. Maybe I should have thought about that a little bit. Well, it's not my fault. They're the ones that made the app, right? And we're putting it out there. I guess they're going pretty hard with like talking about that it's a plugin and all this sort of stuff. So people are getting a little more concerned that it might put a spotlight on plugins and add-ons, and which could have a negative effect.
Overall, more ways for people to connect and find their soulmates, whatever that looks like. Beautiful, wonderful. I love it. Just let's be respectful. Let's make sure that we follow the rules as best we can, so that way everybody can enjoy these things.
Yep. 100% agree. So, I mean, I don't think I'll be checking it out. Like I said, I don't use plugins at all. Having played WoW in the past and having to rely on so many plugins, and people getting salty if you didn't have plugins, or monitoring your DPS with plugins and kicking you out of groups because of information that I don't like plugins. I don't even, I mean, I'll be honest, I don't even like the fact that Final Fantasy XIV like lets you customize your UI so much and makes you, I mean, I like that you can customize it. That's not, maybe not the best way to say it, but
you don't want to see my UI then.
They don't save it online. Like if you go to if you move from like PC to Xbox, you got to set it up again, or move to another PC, you got to export it and then import it. Compared to like every other MMO, even if it's custom, it's just saved online. You don't have to worry about that. That part drives me a little crazy, but it's not a huge deal. I did run into a problem. I play downstairs sometimes in my living room, and I play upstairs here on two different PCs, and it's no problem. Like before I go down there, I just got to remember like upload my UI and then download it when I get there. But one time I finished playing down there, and I'm like, oh, I have a whole bunch of stuff I need to do upstairs, and I went down and it said I couldn't transfer my UI more than once every 24 hours.
Oh, that's rough.
Because I had played like 2 or 3 hours and like, worked on my bars and kind of got stuff set up. Basically the type of stuff you do while you watch TV. It's perfect. Right. Downstairs, working on my UI, and then it wouldn't let me transfer it again. It said I had to wait. So you can only like import and export your UI once every 24 hours, which just seems stupid.
Yeah, and I'm from the philosophy of game developers where you want people in your game as much as possible enjoying and playing and experiencing your game. That's a barrier. That stops you from getting into the game, stops you from enjoying the game, and in fact puts a negative taste in your mouth, right? So,
yeah, and since I'd spent like an hour setting up my bars and stuff downstairs, I came upstairs ready to play and couldn't. Guess what I did that night? I just didn't play.
Yeah,
because exactly. I was like, I made all those changes, Yeah,
it's that same philosophy of those little gotcha phone games where like, hey, you need to wait X amount of hours to get more energy. Like, all right, I'm just gonna leave and not come back then. Why would I do that?
Yeah, Phil, at least it's not them doing it on purpose to get money out of you, I guess. It's, if anything, I'll chalk it up to maybe a little bit of an oversight, because in 2 years of playing, that happened to me once. It was super annoying, but it would be nice that they fix it.
It could be a thing about like maybe trying to stop real money traders or whatever they are, right? RMTs. So maybe like they don't keep botting it and like 15 times over and over again. But other than that, I don't see why they would do it.
You know what? I think, just for the sake of you know, kind of, I like to dig under the hood a little bit and see what's going on. Maybe I'll look that up a little bit and see if there's like a reason for that, or if it's just something that it might just be something that most people don't even do enough for them to worry about it. But I'll see what I can find out and I'll report back. Yeah. Next week.
My money is on the guild bots.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking just maybe just data limits or something. I don't know, but we'll find out. All right, moving along next. So this is kind of cool. So I don't know if you've played Undertale and Deltarune or not. I guess, should I ask, have you played those games?
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Undertale. Confession. So my son played Undertale a whole bunch, and I wasn't interested. I was like, I don't really want to play Undertale. It's too twitchy for me, right? Mm-hmm. But then my son was like, the platinum's really super easy to get. I was like, okay, you're maybe talking my language here a little bit. And so I played Undertale just enough to get the platinum, which is barely any. Like, you just go to the doghouse over and over again, and you pretty much get the platinum. That's it. So I know of Undertale, and I know of the different paths you can take, but I haven't really spent a lot of time in on it.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of, I've looked at it. Admittedly, I haven't played it, but I'm in the same situation. My oldest kid, super into it. Like, the new Deltarune chapter came out this week. It's like a religion.
Oh wow.
They're one of those people. So I don't know if you know this, but the person who made the game, Toby Fox, used to have a comic called Homestuck, which has a cult following. That's why that game kind of became such a cult classic, because he already had a huge following from his comic book, which has just years and years and like thousands of episodes worth of content already. And he's done music for like Pokemon and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So he's pretty established before he made Undertale completely on his own. And I think it was even made, it might have even been made in like Game Maker or whatever the...
Yeah, it was made in Game Maker, and then once it got popular, he redid it, and so it could be released on various things.
Yeah, so just a really cool backstory. And so my oldest child is a huge fan of kind of everything, and was a huge fan of Homestuck before the games even came out. So dove into it, this week, has already played through it. So I've already, got the report back on how the new content was. But the reason we're talking about it is that the character in the game, I guess there's a character named Temmie, who's an artist who actually works on it. His real life name is also Temmie. I guess her name is Temmie Chang. And, I might be getting some of this wrong, so apologies. Feel free to let me know in the comments if I mess something up here. I'm, no shame. That she is a huge Final Fantasy XIV player, plays a cat girl in the game. And so there is a reference in here, and you can see it here, something about an additional set of ears, and it even says in-game, seems like they're making reference to a certain MMO. So like everyone's like, oh, she's a Final Fantasy XIV player. That's exactly what they're talking about in the game. So that is just kind of cool,
Oh yeah.
So
I love it when fandoms can kind of branch out with their hobbies, make references to things in whatever creativity that they're making, which is one of the beautiful things about being a human, is being able to do stuff like that.
Yeah. And so now people are not speculating, but like kind of like, like really hoping, well, maybe Toby Fox they'll want to collaborate and do a song for Final Fantasy XIV. People, I guess, are just chomping at the bit. If that would happen, I guess that would be a dream come true for just so many people, because the Venn diagram for Final Fantasy and Undertale is definitely, it cross paths pretty steady. And just with the music, I mean, people love the music in Undertale and Deltarune. If you look, there's tons of like people that do covers of it on, I think I even played one on a classical guitar cover here on our other show one time. People love the music. He's made music for Pokemon and stuff in the past. So, it's ripe for the picking. Not saying it's going to happen. No one is, but people are just kind of dreaming that would be really, really cool. And I think it would be really cool because his music is definitely good.
I can see that there's enough content in Undertale and Deltarune to make a whole raid in 14.
Oh, so you mean not just a song? Like you're saying it'd be cool if they actually did like a legit crossover.
Heck yeah.
The boss, I don't know if it's the boss or just one of the characters. I haven't played it. Sans, the kind of skull guy from Undertale, is such a huge iconic character. Like imagine that being like a raid boss.
Yeah, it'd be the final part of the raid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to beat up Sans.
You know, I guess
and they can even do branching paths for it too, like choose your own adventure style alliance raid, Undertale themed, where depending on like how much damage or how many enemies you kill is what branch you go through the alliance raid. So each time you play it, you can get to a different branch with how the alliance is going.
You know, we did it again, Ash. We gave him a freebie.
Oh, another idea, huh?
Don't we joke that like every single week we come up with a perfect idea for Final Fantasy XIV?
Yep.
In fact, you know what? We should just start going to change.org and putting our ideas there and get signatures. Square, you need to hire Toby Fox to make a crossover with... we could probably get hilarious. We could probably get tens of signatures, on that.
I mean, at least 2.
Yeah, yours and mine. Yep. And not even Hoz's this week because he's on vacation.
Yeah, he's on vacation. He wouldn't do it. He's like, I'm too busy sipping my Hoz juice for me to do anything like that. The camera is sliding down over the actual camera. Let me move it.
Oh, now it makes sense. It's the little thing that mounts. That's why now I know exactly what's happened. Oh, that's too funny. Yep. I love it.
Yeah, and when we first started, I didn't see the light because the mount was covering the light on it, and then when I moved it up, I could see the light. So that's why the camera's that way. So now I just moved it over. It stopped sliding down now, hopefully.
Oh God, that's so funny.
I'll have to fix it before next podcast.
Yeah, I mean, whether you use the camera or the laptop one, it looks fine.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So, that's kind of it for 14 news. I mean, there's some stuff that I was going to touch on, but I think it falls more into the category of like what we played and stuff. So that's kind of it. So I think, keeping with, I think it's tradition at this point.
The new 14 event is happening.
Which is that's why I was going to say I'll touch on it because I actually did it and I've got some footage and stuff that I'll share when we get to what we played. You're talking about the Breaking Brick event, the Dragon Quest crossover. Yes. I stayed up late last night, played through it. So I'll get to that too. Let's see. So I think, I thought this was kind of interesting. It's not really Final Fantasy XIV related, but in my research, it ended up being kind of Final Fantasy XIV related. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, and that is simply that I guess there's some chatter going on that Final Fantasy XV might be coming to the Switch. Now, might be coming is quite a stretch because I guess, if you look up Final Fantasy right now, this is one of the big stories that everyone's talking about. If you trace the source back to where it started, it was literally just an investor meeting where the shareholders, whoever represents them, the board of directors, whoever, I don't know, I'm not a shareholder guy per se, basically we're like, hey, would it be possible to port more games like Final Fantasy XV to the Switch? And they said simply a one-sentence statement, which was, I believe, yeah, we could consider that. That's kind of where it started and that's where it ended. But everyone's kind of blowing up talking about it now.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, the Switch is very travel friendly. 15 is very travel friendly. Like,
in fact, it's got a car.
Road trip with the boys. Yeah.
Yes, I love it.
It makes perfect sense for it to be on the Switch. I have no problems with that. And honestly, out of if we're talking about the modern Final Fantasies between 15 and 16, 15 all the way. Like, let's get that on there and let's go.
So I assume you've played them, you've platinumed them. Like, what is your take? What do you like better, 15 or 16? Just like
15, 100%.
Okay.
Over. Because so 16 is a good game. Don't get me wrong. And I played 16 4 or 5 times all the way through. My only problem with it is there's not enough JRPG mechanics in 16 for me. Like, I'm a min-maxer. I want to be able to play with my builds and figure out what works for not just the overall game, but for each specific slice of the game, right? Like, if I'm going to fight Ifrit, I'm going to have to build out an ice build, right? If I'm going to fight Shiva, I'm going to have to build a fire build, right? And 16 has none of that. So 15 has a little bit more of that. It has the whole, still min-maxy things. But 15 for me falls in that category. Like, you're always kind of missing something with the combat. Like, the ceiling for the combat feels like it's too low.
I guess I get that.
But it still scratches a bunch of the JRPG things.
And plus, it's got a kind of, I guess, this people like the characters and stuff. People, from what I understand.
Oh yeah, Noctis and Ignis. Man, I love it. I even till this day, I'll be walking down to the grocery store and I have Ignis's line. I've done it. I've discovered a new recipe.
I haven't played it. I've played the demo of it. I'm still kind of waiting. I played it. I really like the demo. It's my type of game. I mean, I like action games like that. Maybe I wouldn't say more than turn-based because I'm really warming up to turn-based these days. But it kind of speaks to me. But I played the demo and I'm like, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna get through some of the older Final Fantasies. Like that's kind of my quest before I get to that. And honestly, I think I might play 15 before I played 16. I might play 13 before I play 15. I don't know. But what I thought kind of stuck out to me is I know in Final Fantasy XIV, because that's like my main jam, that there is the car, you know, from this game because of a crossover. And I never thought about it, that a crossover means that the game went the other way. Like, how did I not see this? Like, I fired this up and I'm like, oh my God, wait, they're fighting Garuda. Wait. And then I see the little screen pop up and, you know, and it shows the thing. So I didn't realize that Final Fantasy 15 had so much Final Fantasy 14 stuff in it, you know?
Well, I kind of think it's the other way around. Sure, 15 came out after 14, but like all the Final Fantasy games kind of build on other Final Fantasy games, even future Final Fantasy games in some kind of weird way, because always got Cid, you always got Chocobos, you always got the summons in some kind. Like sometimes summons are called Eidolons, sometimes they're called Primals, sometimes they're called whatever, Espers, right? So they're always building on each other with some of their references and themes and stuff like that. So there's staples that Final Fantasy fans can always kind of rely on. We're like, oh, new Final Fantasy. I wonder what Cid's going to be like this time.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, for me, I just didn't realize quite that. I mean, I should have thought about it, that 15 had a bunch of 14 stuff. Like, just basically the crossover went both ways. Yeah, like I didn't realize that. I mean, obviously anyone who's been playing these games for a long time already knew that. I just knew the Final Fantasy 14 end of things because that's more my wheelhouse. But I'll have to get to this sometime.
Monster Hunter did that too.
What's that? Oh yeah, Monster Hunter. Yeah. See, that one I knew was in both. And that's why I should have known that 15 was in. I mean, this is old news, obviously. What to say? I noticed the date said the crossover started in 2018, so clearly not anything new. I rounded up some facts here. I was like, you know, of course they should bring it. Like, they have a ton of Final Fantasy games on the Switch already. So I rounded up the numbers. Are you ready for this? This is crazy. I don't know if you realized how much stuff was on there. So Square Enix games, if not just Final Fantasy, but if you had to take a guess, how many Square Enix games are on the Switch systems? What would you guess?
Oh, man. I don't know, maybe 50?
Ready? 80. Yeah. Over 80.
Oh, okay.
Over 80. So of those 80, I have it in front of me here, 23 of them are Final Fantasy games. And of those 23 Final Fantasy games, that counts, you know, the stuff like Chocobo Racing GP, the stuff like World of Final Fantasy. It counts all that, but actually, as far as mainline games, there's 14 mainline games. They have everything but 11, which they'll probably never get. 13, 15, and 16, all they're missing.
Okay.
They're 3 away from having all the mainline games, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's not bad at all. That's a huge thing since the PS1 era, where Squaresoft and Nintendo kind of had their falling out. And so all these years later, I guess some of that goodwill has been repaired, which is, I think, is a positive thing to hear.
Yeah, and you know, and now with 14 coming, I didn't include that on the mainline games, but that'll be it. I don't know what you think, but the fact that they're putting Rebirth and then Revelations coming out on the Switch 2, it almost makes me feel like it wouldn't surprise me if they kind of like humored, you know, in the investor meeting, like, yeah, we'd consider 15, but it wouldn't surprise me if 16 is already in the works of being ported.
Oh yeah,
like that would make more sense.
Yeah, and 16 would do well handheld also because of the nature of what 16 is.
Yeah,
because you could be like, hey, I'm waiting for my train or whatever it might be, and you're like, maybe I got enough time to do one kind of side quest, because 16 has a whole bunch of side quests. So like, if you're on the handheld fired up, do a side quest, train's there, get on the train, do another side quest, you know?
Yep. You know, not just handheld, but, you know, the Switch is a lot of people's only system. So it's their console. And a lot of people don't even take it off the dock ever. It's literally, they're like, I like Mario, I like racing, I like Smash Bros. And I'm happy to get all these other games. So it's just that's their console. That's all they play. So
my Switch, so I'm a homebody. I hardly ever leave the house unless I can help it. But my favorite thing to do, though, is I have a headboard, and I have my Switch 2 just sitting on my headboard, just kind of on its kickstand there. So when I go to bed at night, I can just lay on my bed and play a couple hours of like Xenoblade or Zelda or whatever it might be before I pass out. The amount of times I've hozzed out and woken up to the Switch still on is crazy.
I need to get a hozzed out counter. Poor Haz. I wonder if he's going to watch this. You know what?
He'll probably listen to it.
We don't do this podcast live because we film it at random times. Since it's morning, I should have just, like, it would have taken me no time at all just to hit the start streaming button. I should have just streamed it. He could have watched it wherever he's from.
Yeah.
All right.
He's on vacation. Oh, which kind of reminds me. I know I talked to you a little bit about this, but in October, I'm going to be gone on vacation for about a week. So I'll probably miss some podcast, or we might have to delay them or whatever it might be. I live on the West Coast, and I have to go middle of America for work stuff. So
the middle, yes, the good old middle. I think
good old middle.
You know, sort of maybe like Canada and stuff. A lot of people that you know, because we have friends and stuff in the EU and some that listen to our shows. I don't think it's just so easy to forget how big this crazy country that we live in is. I was looking at the map and like going from like a vacation from like UK down to like Spain or Italy for vacation is like going from like Washington down to like Arizona or something, you know, like without even crossing to the other side. Such a huge country. But you know, it's good.
I'll have to look up to see how long it would be to drive there and back. I bet you it'd be a couple of days to drive. We're just going to fly. Like the company's paying for that, so
yeah,
I have to worry about it. But I'm sure driving it would be like a day and a half, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I live in California in the northern part, you know, and we went to Disneyland last week, and it's in the same state as me, and it was still a 12-hour drive. Just, you know, within the same state. So
this is like 4 or 5 states over.
Yep. I'm kind of a little jealous of Haz up there, getting to live in Canada.
Me too. He told
me
me that if I ever needed a place to hide, I can just move in with him. It'll be fine.
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, but I got cats and kids. He's like, it's okay, bring them all. I was like, all right, Haz, you're the best.
Haz likes cats and kids. Look at that guy. Look how cute he is. I mean,
I know.
Look at his little earrings, his little mustache.
If you ever catch any of Haz's live streams, which he doesn't stream very often, but when he does, he likes to have his fish on camera before and after or on breaks. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah, I love it. In fact, you know, in our Discord, we have a section where people post pictures of like their cats and stuff like that. And I think Haz is the only person who's posted pictures of fish.
Oh, I'm sure. Yep.
Oh, Haz, well, bless you. All right. I think that's it for the news. I had some stuff about Final Tactics. This isn't Final Fantasy XIV related. Getting a 1.5 release, but did you play that? If you did, we might as well just put it in our What We Played section.
Yeah. I plan on talking about it, so that's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we could move on to the What We Played. You want to just go first and talk about Tactics? Because I'm going to talk about the Breaking Brick thing, and I have some footage. So if you want to go first, and that way we can kind of tie our news into our...
Yeah, I'll briefly touch on what I'm doing in 14, which hasn't been a lot because I've been spending a lot of time on Elliot and Tactics. But what I've done so far in 14, I know last time I talked about getting the new mount from Cosmic Exploration. I need to get like 6 or 8 of them. I've gotten
is that the pink spider guy?
Yep, I've gotten 2 of them so far, a pink one and a white one. And so Haz and I both have one at the moment. I still need to work on getting more for the rest of our friends and family. But I have macros for it set up now, so it's a lot easier and faster to do. It's just the time to actually sit down and do it is got to be a thing. But on the other hand, Final Fantasy Tactics, that game, I bought it when it first came out, the Ivalice Chronicles, and I've played Tactics on the PS1 a long time ago. That opening scene with the chocobos running by, man, riding chocobos like that, you wouldn't even seen it in your imagination until Tactics came out. And so when Ivalice Chronicles, Ivalice Chronicles came out, I'm like, okay, I have to buy this game. And it's been on my back burner because I planned to platinum it, but I haven't been really working on it because I've other things kind of get in the way. But then they announced a new update for it, which is the New Game Plus update.
And this is the 1.5 update, it looks like, right?
Yeah, the 1.5. And it also adds in the your constellation kind of crossover thing, so you can see that better. But some of the things I didn't realize that Ivalice Chronicles does is it has a huge section for lore and history pages. So as you talk to people and meet with people, it also unlocks all these cool little how people are met up with and how people meet. And so I've been going through the game with fresh new eyes, like, oh, so this is what this character was thinking about during this time. I never thought about that. So it's like seeing Final Fantasy, in a fresh new experience. So the last couple of days, tons of time into it. I am now in the final chapter 4, which is wild to think about. Like last night, I kind of hit a wall at the end of chapter 3 because I haven't been grinding, and Tactics is known for a grinding game where you just got to spend hours beating yourself up to get all your stuff. But I didn't want to do that. I wanted to get to the New Game Plus to see what that was.
I love that part of games,
right? So I've been adverse to grinding. So I'm like level 18. I get to the boss of chapter 3. It's level 28, and it killed me like 3 times. I'm like, oh no. Man, how am I going to do this? Luckily, though, I ended up silencing the boss, so it couldn't cast its spells on me, and I was able to beat it. So now I'm like level 18 in the final chapter of the game.
Nice. Well, this sounds like a game that would absolutely destroy my soul. So now I see why you're recommending that I play it and stream it.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's such a great game, and you'll have lots of time to talk about chat too. Because if you ever want to like start grinding your levels or grinding jobs or grinding your job points to gain new abilities, that's a great game to do that while talking with chat. So yeah, and it's not an easy game. It's got its moments where it's very difficult, and you can even soft lock yourself if you're not careful, because it'll have like multi-tiered battles. So like you can get past the first battle and then make a hard save and get stuck on the second battle, and then you can't get past that second battle, and now you have to, if you just make multiple saves, you're done. You have to start all over again.
That's good. Hopefully it wouldn't be too bad. I do that thing where, I don't do a ton of saves, but whenever I get to something that feels a little newer, I rotate back and forth between 2 saves. Yeah. So
this is definitely a game you make multiple saves. Like right now I have 32 saves on it, but that's just me, right? I'll use up every slot they give me.
Right. No, I love the look of this. It looks really, I like the it's not a new game. We're not like, breaking news here by any means, because it's been out a while, but I remember when I first saw it just thinking like, what a great way to do something like that's kind of iconic and classic, because Tactics is, but also make it look kind of fresh and new. The little chibi cartoon style they went with is just adorable. I love it.
Yeah, and it has some surprise other guest characters in it too. So like, for example, if you like to play 7 and you start playing through this, you might see some surprise Final Fantasy 7 characters in there.
Oh, nice. You know what? Yeah. I really like the Ivalice world because, I've only played about 10 hours of 12, but, the world was just really great. But I really fell in love with it in 14. There's, the raid series where they go to Ivalice. It just felt like one of the more story-rich, just beautiful, like, high fantasy worlds. Like, Ivalice, if you like high fantasy, that is such a vibe.
Yeah, it's very political, all of it, like, all Ivalice things. So, there's the Tactics series that are Ivalice. You have 12, which is Ivalice, and then you have Vagrant Story, which is Ivalice, and they're all very political.
Yeah, when I fired up 12, I just remember, like, it's like, it felt like an hour of just like explaining like the world and the cutscenes and the kings and who betrayed who, and I just love it. It's like Game of Thrones kind of a vibe put into like this sort of world. I mean, not the exact same type of stuff they do, but just that level of like families and stuff, kind of,
And what this new edition of Tactics does is it has a timeline of that whole pictures on a pegboard with strings attaching to them and stuff like that. It has that built into the game now, so you can go to your tab and see that, and then kind of throughout the ages, throughout the chapters, kind of go through it, see how it all changes and mixes and matches, which I thought was cool. And in fact, it inspired me to do that with my book trilogy I'm writing. So I downloaded a new app called Obsidian, where you can link characters and stuff together. So I've been doing that. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh man, don't you love it when stuff just like everything links together and just like all the stuff you love comes together and you know?
Yep. You're like, oh, hey, where does Ramza fit in with this? And like, oh, Ramza is connected to Alma and Ramza is connected to Tetra, and you know, it's a really cool system.
Oh, that's so cool. By the way, your book, I can't wait. I know I bring it up all the time, so I won't go too crazy on it. But like, after I read the first book, I know it's a trilogy. I can't wait for the second one. And you need to hurry up and get it published so people can read it. Like, people need to read this book. It's so good. Like, I'm not just saying this because I'm a friend. You know, you do that thing where you're like, oh, yeah, it's pretty good. But, like, it's good. I know I said the exact same thing last week. But, oh, my God, it's so good. You need to get it published, Ash. People need to read that.
I'm thinking about doing a thing called direct sales. So just making a website, and then people can go to that website and just buy it and call it good. So I don't have to worry about publishers, which I have some publishers that want to pick me up. But before I dive in, I'm waiting for the copyright office to get done. That can take like 6 months.
Oh, boy.
So... Yeah.
Our government's not in the best shape right now for really anything.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting on them to move forward with it, and then I'll either go through a traditional publisher or just do direct sales. I'm not sure yet, but I want to avoid Amazon. I don't want to do the whole Amazon self-publishing thing because I'm not a big fan of mega corporations having a 70% slice of my pie, and I'm not. I'm only going to sell the book for like $1 or $2, if that.
Right.
And honestly, if you guys get my email, I'll just send it to you. I don't care. But like,
right.
I just want people to read and enjoy it. That's the end of it. And the easiest way to do that is by publishers, right? You get somebody that talks up your book for you.
Of course, if you have a publisher, it's going right on Amazon anyways. They're not going to not put it on there.
I know. That's another thing that I really don't want them to do.
But it's hard to avoid, right? Like, I try to avoid Amazon, yet I stream on Twitch, which is owned. Like, every commercial goes right to a Jeff Bezos yacht,
Yep. There's other sites that you can use that, like, maybe they take 3% of the sales or whatever it is. So, like, if I put it on for like $1 for people to buy the book, then they only get like 3 cents, which that's way better. And I don't really care who the money goes to. I just want people to feel like they're getting something that can inspire them to do other things.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun book. I'm looking forward to reading all of it. In fact, I'd be happy to read. Hopefully I'll get to read like a rough draft in the next one when you get it done.
So book 1 is for the most part finished. There's like formatting things, but it's 9 chapters with an epilogue and a prologue, and that's pretty much done. Book 2, however, as I'm writing it, it's grown, right? It's bigger than I expected. Another like a 2-hour 9-chapter read, but because of the scope of book 2, it's about, right now I'm on 11th chapter, and I'm assuming it's going to be about 15 chapters.
Okay.
About twice as big as the first book.
Nice. Well, I'll still probably squeeze it in one day. When I read it, I don't read books a lot, but I picked it up. It was only a couple hours, so I was able to just read through it really quickly in one session.
I want this one to be fast too, but at the same time, things escalate, right?
Yeah.
So,
yep. People are probably thinking like, I can't wait to read this. It's probably like about wizards and all that, but without giving too much away, it isn't high fantasy. You would think it might be, but this is about like exorcism and kind of a horror genre. Yeah.
Yeah. So the book title is called The Exorcist Mission. So it's about exorcisms. And the overall trilogy name for the book is called The Call of Evil.
Yeah.
So you have your normal kind of hero's journey in books where, the hero like leaves their town, meets the mentor passes on, then the hero does its thing and comes back to see all the changes. Where this is more about the bad guy's journey, right? How the bad guy's adventure turns out.
Nice. Well, I can't wait to read it. So let's see. Did you play anything else this week, Ash? It's Final Fantasy stuff. Obviously, we have a whole show to talk about everything we played. Because believe it or not, we played more than Final Fantasy. But we just talk about Final Fantasy here. That's what we're here for.
For Final Fantasy, that's about it, the 14 and the tactics. I'm excited for Resonance coming out in October.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to cover that when we get a little closer, huh? Like I feel like that'll fit the show nicely.
Yeah, and it comes out the day before my birthday, so it's almost a guaranteed I'm getting it. So I might not even have to buy it. Like friends and family will buy it for me, which is kind of fun.
Nice.
But yeah, it's definitely a game I'm going to end up checking out and platinuming.
I've been looking into it, and I have some thoughts and some stuff about it, but you know, I'm going to hold it until we have like a bigger discussion about it, because I'm going to pick your brain about it a little bit more. But maybe one of these times we should just dedicate a little bit to it, because it looks good.
It is going to have some things in it that you might not like. Just
I know.
Heads up. Yeah.
I know. But it has some stuff that I probably will like. All right, so moving on, I guess I'll get into what I did, right? So in the Final Fantasy world, I'll cover this really quickly. I am still working my way through. Final Fantasy led me on a journey to, or Final Fantasy XIV led me on a journey to play the other Final Fantasy games, which led me on a journey to kind of start experiencing JPRGs for the first time, something that wasn't in my wheelhouse, which I played Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy I. I'm on 7 now, and I'm getting pretty far along. I feel like maybe I probably have a few sessions left, depending on how long they are. You know, I'm trucking along playing 2 to 4 hours, a couple times a week, streaming it in the morning. So that's real. I mean, it is what it is, right? Everyone knows what Final Fantasy VII is, so I don't need to talk too much about it. But what I did do that is pretty cool, and I'm going to pull it up here, is there I am.
Oh, there it is.
With my slime crown. So last night, I was about to go to bed. It was about midnight, because I knew I'd be getting up early this morning. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Like, we talked up the Slime King hat, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get it. And did all this talking about, like, how fun it would be. And I'm like, I'm going to go on to the next show, having not even done the event the day it came out. So I'm like, I'm not going to bed. So I'm like, I'm thinking, you know, I'll play through it and check it out. I didn't figure I'd get through it, but turns out I did all of the stuff in it, because there wasn't a ton.
Yeah, it's real short.
Yeah, it's real short. So I was going to record some stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go live. So I just streamed it last night. A few people hung out with me while I did it. And oh my god, I had no idea what the story was about. It was so ridiculous. For anyone who hasn't done this, a couple of things to know. The hat that I'm wearing, this is all I wanted. I wanted to do the event to get the hat. Well, I did the event, and I got a little golem, and I got a new frame for like your portrait mode, and I got this weird hat that looks like some like weird sex dungeon S&M pig hat or something. Maybe that's just me looking into it. I don't know. It looks a little creepy.
Bug hat.
It looks like it belongs in the Hakor Manor or something like that. However you say that. And I'm like, I didn't get my...
run a Hawk Manor wearing just like the leather straps and that hat.
Yes, we should. All right, anyone who wants to join, sign up. No, I'm just kidding. Oh yeah, you'll find us on the Aetherlove app. No, just kidding about that too. No, but I finished it all up, and I'm like, oh, I didn't get the slime crown. I realized standing right next to the guy who does the turn-in on the quest is just somebody who sells it. So if anybody just wants the Slime King hat, you don't have to do the quest. And the quest is just travel around and find some fates going on in the world. I think it took me maybe 30, 40 minutes to do all the quests, where you meet the ladies there, as you're seeing, which I had no idea that that's where the story was going. Never in a million years did I think that. But anyways, you don't have to do any of the quest stuff. You can just walk up to the vendor and pay hardly any gil and just buy the Slime King hat. Anyone who's, I think it's I don't even know if there's a level requirement. I think the story is level 7, but I don't even know if you have to be level 7. You just have to be able to get to Ul'dah. And sitting right there by the Thaumaturge, however you say that, guild, is a guy selling a Slime King hat for like...
a couple gil?
Like 11 gil or something. It's ridiculous, yeah. So I feel like when they did this, the Dragon Quest people, who I guess are the same company, but different developers under the same umbrella, were probably like, hey, you should make the Slime King hat available for everybody, and they did. And I'm happy. I love it. I found the perfect outfit. I ran around. I harassed people all over Limsa Lominsa. With it by harassed, I mean basically walked up and danced. You can see, I think on here, I like to do the Manderville dance for people, so I think I walked up and you know, danced for a fish, danced for some people hanging out. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I did.
Jiggled your hat for them.
But this part, so you see these ladies here? Like, how does this have anything to do with? He's like, oh, I got a little gift for you. And he's telling these ladies to take care of me. And it's like, where is this going? And then there's a bit of a prank in it. I won't give it away for anybody, but it was kind of silly. It didn't go where you were thinking it was going to go. Because for a second, I was like, what are we doing here? This is not what I signed up for. Like, I do not have an account on the Aetherlove app. What's going on?
They automatically sign you up. They're less. They just, as you walk by, you're just getting notification on your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that's what I did. So
don't take that idea, Square.
I just had to make sure I kept to my. I just felt like I would not have been doing our audience justice if I would have talked up the Slime King event and then didn't play it when it came out. So yes, and you know, if you watch me on Twitch, the VOD's up. So I don't know if anyone cares, but it's there. I always leave my VODs up for whatever amount of time they allow me. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And are you going to go through and do the quest again to get the new portrait or whatever you got to do?
Oh, yeah. I'll just skip through it real fast just to get it.
Yeah.
I've already done this quest like twice now, I think.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, it would have been quick. I think the only thing that makes it slow is it doesn't tell you exactly where to go. It says do fates. And at first I wasn't sure if I had to do all of the fates, or if I had to just do one, but you pull them up and you can't see fates, you know, until you get to the zone, right? So I go to the zone. Right. It wasn't in that one. Go to the next zone. It wasn't in that one. It turns out I went to all the zones and it was in the very last one listed. So I maybe spent 10 minutes, you know, traveling around trying to find where it was at. But, you know, it tells you right in the quest what zone to go to. So you go to the zone, pop up the map, see if Breaking Brick is there. If it is, you kill one guy and you get the item. So, but I like that they put the slime guy on the UI and they use the Dragon Quest font. I just thought that was a nice touch.
And I'm glad that they've actually added a new item for it, because by now it's like I don't really want to do it again, because if you already have the stuff, but now that at least there's the Framers kit attached to it, I might as well. Like, it doesn't take hardly any time to do it. So
yeah. And I think the Framers kit, like, it's one of those things I'll never use, but it, you know, I still like to collect it. Like all the mounts I have, I'm not going to use half the mounts that I have, but I still collect them. The only other thing
I only use one mount. Out of all the mounts I have, I only use one anyway.
The little tank.
Yep.
Yeah, I have 3. I use the little airplane from whatever the boss was that drops it. The jester guy. I'm blanking on his name right now. We've talked about him a ton on our show. Kefka. The you get from Kefka. I use the Fat Cat mount and I use the Spriggan.
I think some of the mounts are too shiny for me, so I stay away from them.
Yeah. Although there is the Fat Chocobo mount that carries you in a basket, like down below, that holds I think 3 people, is on sale right now for only $15 in the shop. I don't think I'm gonna get it, but that's like the cheapest I've ever seen a multi-character mount in the shop.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to get it either, because I'm adverse to spending real money on things.
Yeah.
I already have multi-user mounts anyway. So
yeah, you have the car. If I had the car, oh my god, I'm so jealous that you have the car.
Yeah, I have the car and a couple of airships and some other things, so it's not anything I'm too worried about.
Yeah, I mean, I was a new player when they did the Final Fantasy XV crossover last, and no one told me about it, and I could have got it, I think. Oh wait, no, I wouldn't have had enough MGP, so it wouldn't have mattered, because it's like 1 million. You have to buy it with Manderville points, huh?
Yep, Manderville points.
Okay, so I technically didn't miss it, but I'm almost at 1 million now. I've got like 900,000, so if it comes back, I'll be ready.
And I'm pretty sure it's coming back, so be prepared.
Okay, yeah, I'll be prepared.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to take advantage of the Make It Rain bonuses and stuff. I even learned to play Triple Triad. Oh, that's what I did. I learned to play Triple Triad this week. I'd never played it, so I went in there. Learned it from the quest giver that taught it. And then I just went around. I don't think it was meant to be hard, but I beat all the little bosses and somebody named the king or whatever, and got a few new cards, and yeah, that was fun. So the game is actually, I can tell, it looks really fun. I mean, it's really simple, it's really straightforward, but you can tell there's a lot of strategy to it when you start getting more advanced.
Yeah, the base game for Triple Triad I think is great. super simple, you know, your higher number beats their higher number, but then it starts adding new rules sometimes. And some of those new rules can get really kind of convoluted, especially when they combine with each other rules. Then it gets really like, oh, this is going to be a struggle to get these guys cards.
Yeah, I haven't got that far. I mean, I've just played the most basic stuff, but I just, you know, it was a band-aid I needed to rip off. I don't know why I hadn't played it yet, so did that. Let's see, the last thing that I was doing, nothing too exciting. I still don't have my Rathalos mount, so I've been going in every, you know, once a day or once every other day and just, you know, taking him down like 2 or 3 times, because it's time consuming. That, you know, it has that thing where you have to cut off his tail, but to cut off his tail, you have to shoot him like 99 times on your global cooldown. And with one person, 99 times takes, I don't know, it's maybe like a 5-minute fight. But it's not like a 5-minute fight you can just zone out. You still have to pay attention. Yep. So I don't think I have what it takes to just grind that out. I'm more of like a, you know, a couple times a week I'll go in there and do a couple of them. So I should probably have my Rathalos mount pretty soon.
That's why I'm saying, hey, if you're doing it, hit me up. We can cut that time in half.
Yeah, but I keep doing it like super late. I think one time I mentioned it in the chat. I think I was in there like maybe even after you had gone to bed, or I would have.
Probably.
Yeah. Or maybe you saw it and didn't think I was inviting you. Whenever I put like, hey, I'm doing Rathalos right now, that's the same as me saying like, hey, if you want to join me.
Oh.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
I remember seeing a post, something along those lines, where you're like, "I'm doing Rathalos," and I think I said, "Oh, good luck."
You know, I don't know what's on that. No, because if I wasn't offering you to help, I probably wouldn't even mention it. But yeah, no. So that's what that means for future reference.
Have fun.
It was also the time. It was also the time that you've been playing. Oh crap! I'm blanking on the name. The game. Yes, Elliot. You've been super buried in Elliot, so I didn't want to bug you too much. This has been the least I've heard from you probably ever.
Yeah, I've been doing Elliot quite a bit, which is another Square Enix game by the same people who do Octopath Traveler. So, and it's weird because in my perceptions of Final Fantasy, it feels like a Final Fantasy game, right?
It looks like a Final Fantasy
game. It's got a lot of Final Fantasy tropes in it. So I just shovel it in as another Final Fantasy game. So I just kind of got stuck into it.
Yeah.
Which will happen anytime a new Final Fantasy game comes out. That's what happens to me. It's like, oh, hey, look, close the blinds, close the door, close the phone. I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Yep. Yeah, but you know what? You do still make the podcast, so that's good, though.
Oh, yeah, it's important.
I mean, you may have not slept for like 30 hours when you show up, but...
Yeah, I think I went to bed at like 3 a.m. yesterday, and then got up at 5:30 to take my wife to work.
You know, getting up early that's the key to life, I think. This morning I got up just a little before 5, got some grocery shopping done, went to the bank, went out to the gas station, gassed up, and I was like back home by like 8, you know? Or no, I went to the bank after. What's that?
Grocery shopping early in the morning is beautiful. I love it.
Yep. Yeah. And it's better than night because, you know, where I live, if you go in at night, there's usually just like a bunch of tweakers wandering around the Walmart, and they usually have a dog in there. And like, I don't know how many times I've seen like a dog crap on the floor in the Walmart. And it's, you know what? Not even, I could go on forever, but I don't blame the dogs. I love dogs. But yeah, so morning time. Morning time is the time to get stuff done. I find that if I try to be productive in the morning as opposed to just staying up late. When I stay up late, I'm a little more sluggish and I get sidetracked. But in the morning, like I'm just like ready to go. That's my most productive time.
I don't know if I'm productive in the morning or at night. I just hate sleeping. So
it's such a waste of time. There's so much stuff to do, right?
Yeah, I have way too many things to do besides sleep. One of those things is petting my cat. Another thing is, you know, collecting mounts in 14. So, like, I don't have time for sleep.
That's right. Sleep or get that Rathalos mount. I'm going to choose Rathalos every time. All right. So I think that pretty much wraps up what we've done. Should we take a really quick break and then come back and play some Name That Tune and maybe a little 2 Truths and an Eorzean Lie?
Sounds good.
All right. Hang in there, everybody. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everybody. You know what? If you are listening on your whatever podcast app you prefer, it probably didn't really sound like we took a break. You just have this weird section where it's like, hey, we'll be right back. Hey, we're right back. But yes, we
Which
took
is
a break.
Exactly what happened. We actually didn't take a break. We just did that and moved on.
You know, that'd be funny. Like next time we do it live, we should just be like, hey, everybody, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back. Because like when we stream our other podcasts, we have like break music and like a break screen so that we can, you know, refill our coffee, and, you know, Twitch makes you run ads. So I try to time them to that and all that. But
yep.
Anyways, what do you want to do first? Do you want to name a tune? I think I've got a good one this week. Or do you want to do some two truths and a lie? I'll let you choose.
I want to hear the good tunes.
All right, let's do it. This is what we call Name That Duty Tune with a capital H. Name to Hat Duty Tune. You know what? I'm never going to change that
every time. To hat.
You know what? Even on the podcast notes, I should just call it that in there. We'll just make it. We'll make it a thing. All right. So, I try to keep with a theme. It says that duty tune, but generally I'll try to do like, all right, these are all raids, or these are all whatever. I'm pretty sure. I'm so horrible with names. And I did this morning, right after I woke up. So, but I think these are all trials. That was what I was kind of going for.
Okay.
So I'm going to play it, and then I'll give you multiple choice. But when I say all, I mean the options, the multiple choice. Are you ready?
I don't have Hozaho to cheat off of today.
I know, right? Well, look at him. He's there. He's looking cute, right by the otter guy.
Yeah. He's not saying much, though.
No, he's really not. Which is kind of odd. All right, here we go. All right, so I feel like I chose a banger this week, and I hope I didn't do this one already. I forgot to. I keep a log of what I've already done, and I missed the first two shows what I did. So hopefully I didn't do this. I don't think I did. I know we've talked about this one. All right, so here's your options. Is it the Seed of Sacrifice fighting the Warrior of Light? Is it a Relic Reborn fighting Hydra? Is it Porta Documana fighting Ultima Weapon, or is it Battle in the Keep where you fight Gilgamesh? Those are your options.
I'm pretty sure it's not Gilgamesh's fight. Because I think Gilgamesh still uses Battle on the Bridge scene from that one. And I don't think it's Seed of Sacrifice. So I'm going to have to go, what was it, 2 and 3?
You've got Relic Reborn is the name of the fight where you fight Hydra. I tried to do my homework and give you the fight and the boss. Or is it Porta Documana, Decumana, where you fight Ultima Weapon?
I don't think, is it Ultima? I'm going to have to go with number 2.
Number 2, is it a Relic Reborn Hydra?
Nope. Which one was it?
So this is the Porta Decumana. This is the Ultima Weapon. Yep. So you're gonna. Hopefully this doesn't make you feel bad, but when I was Googling this is what a lot of people refer to as like one of the most epic fight musics, at least at the time when it came out. So
yeah, I was confusing it with Ruby Weapon, the taco song. So I'm like, it kind of sounds like a taco song. I think it's that one. But then, you know, knowing me, I go back to my gut and I'm like, no, it's got to be the other one. So
you know, they can be a little difficult because, you know, like now some of the later songs, you know, like what is it? What did we do last week? This one, right?
Yep.
You know, we've got more unique songs. We've got like,
you know, like
for it. We've got the Primal's band doing stuff. We've got the Rage Against the Machine dude doing music. Like, so we've got all these real songs where these are the one that I did is more classic, and it's probably pretty easy to get those mixed up. They're just like super epic. You know, they sound like old, you know, like opera, just, you know, massive.
And without the lyrics, Big Fat Taco, I'm just going to get it wrong every time.
I mean, you guys pointed that out to me when I was playing it, and like you just never hear that the same again. I wish I had. I'd show people what we're talking about if I had it on here, but I don't. I only have this.
Yep, that is not Big Fat Taco. Well, maybe a different type of taco.
All right, so let's do 2 truths and one Eorzean lie.
Perfect.
So this is a section where Ash has come up with 3 scenarios that happened in the game. 2 of them actually happened in the game, and 1 of them did not happen. And I'm supposed to guess which one did not happen. And I say guess because it is a guess.
Yeah, and these ones I kind of tried to theme because I was feeling more of a theme type situation. So this one is themed around crafting, which might be a little bit difficult because Buddy doesn't do crafting. So
that's not true. I fished for one day. That's not crafting. Never mind. Okay, you're right. Go ahead. No. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. And I know Hozaho doesn't do a lot of crafting either. He does a lot of fishing too. So this in my mind anyway, this is a little bit harder for you. Okay.
He looks like he's ready to go fishing. Look at him. He looks like he's ready to jump on a tour boat and catch a swordfish.
You need to add a fishing pole to him. That'd be great.
Oh, you're right.
He's even next to the otter that you can get an otter minion that fishes next to you. Yep. Okay. Anyway, so number 1. High quality gathering and crafting gear can be overmelted. Number 2, food can increase your CP beyond your gear's base stats. Or 3, specialist crafters make every recipe more efficient than non-specialists.
Can you say number 1 again?
Yeah. High quality gathering and crafting gear can be overmelted.
Oh, man. That one, it's just, I don't know because I don't deal with any of that. Sorry, can you read number 2 one more time? Because I'm pretty sure number 3 is correct.
Okay. Food can increase your CP beyond your gear's base stats.
I think it's number 1 is the incorrect one.
Oh.
Is that right or wrong?
Nope. That is wrong. So only crafted gear can be overmelted. Regular gear you find in dungeons and raids, you can't overmeld. So only crafting gear can be overmelded. Okay. And food does increase your base stats above what your CP can normally handle. Normally, food has 2 kind of stats on it, like the max it'll give you, and then the current cap for your level type stats in there for the quality level of food. Number 3 is a lie.
That's the first one. I'm like, this one's correct.
Every recipe more efficient than non-specialist crafters. So specialists have an advantage on recipes and actions, but they're not universally better.
Okay. And this is probably like Final Fantasy 101 if I crafted.
Right. Yeah, like I said, that'll be the hard one for you guys because it's a crafting one.
And so for the record, I'm not anti-craft. I'm perfectly fine with crafting. I just haven't. Right. It's just something I haven't dove into yet because I finished the MSQ not too long ago, and I'm just kind of doing more stories. I know some people are crafting while they're leveling their first character. I don't know. I'll dive into it someday because I know I want to get to the moon. Yeah,
and I do more crafting than I do content nowadays anyway, so...
Sure, of course.
Crafting was just on my mind, especially now that I'm doing the cosmic stuff, trying to get mounts for people.
But you know what, even if it's out of my wheelhouse, it's still fun to guess. Like, some of these, even if I have no idea, just kind of trying to deduce, like, the logic there, and, still fun.
Yeah. So this one is geared towards the gold saucer.
Ooh, I love me some gold saucer.
Yep. So, number 1, gates stand for gold saucer active time event. Number 2, the highest chocobo breeding pedigree is 10. And number 3, minions can fight in the gold saucer.
Okay, I haven't bred chocobos. I know you have. I don't know the level, but that sounds right. I'm pretty sure the gate thing is right. I'm not 100% sure, but that sounds like what it stands for. I don't think you can fight minions in the golden saucer, and if you can, I know exactly what I'm going to do as soon as we're done here.
Oh, yeah?
That's what I'm going with.
So number 3 is a truth. It's not a lie. So there's a little mini game in the gold saucer called Vermilion, which everybody hates, nobody plays, but you use your minion to fight in the gold saucer with that one. The lie is number 2. The highest chocobo breeding pedigree is not 10, it's 9.
Well, that makes sense because I've chocobo raced. I just haven't got into the breeding.
I thought for sure you were going to catch number 1 as wrong, but you knew it. You knew what gates stand for.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me, I wouldn't have been able to tell you, but I've heard it before. So once you said it, it sounded right.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, so Lord of Vermilion is a thing in the Gold Saucer you can use to fight your minions, and each minion has different kind of attacks too. Like, if you get the Manderville minion, he when he attacks, he's using Nashu to attack instead of himself.
So do you mean minions like you can use your Dust Bunny or your Fat Cat or like those type of minions?
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
How did they drop the ball on this? I mean, this sounds like Pokemon built into Final Fantasy XIV. Why is this not? Why didn't like? Why isn't this like the most popular? Why have I not heard of it? It sounds like it should be awesome, but people don't like it.
People don't like it. It's partly because the controls are very unintuitive, and because controller, right? They had to make it for a controller also, and also it's more of a tower defense than it is PvP. So you're trying to it's like League of Legends where you're trying to destroy certain towers before your enemies destroy the towers.
Okay.
But minions can totally 100% fight each other.
Crazy. Because yeah, like WoW, had added pet battles, and they were cool. Like they did a really good job at it. Like I think if they would have put that on like a mobile phone, like they would have had a hit. But Blizzard famously likes to like not do anything with their IPs that would be like awesome.
Each minion even has their own stats and their own like temperaments and all that stuff for specifically Lord of Vermilion.
I did not realize that. I don't know how I missed that. So I'm definitely going to go in and check that out. I feel like it's
in Chocobo Square. So go to where the Chocobo racing area is, and it's down there.
Well, that makes sense. And for anyone just watching this, they're like, wait, how have you played Final Fantasy XIV for a couple years now and had no idea about a minigame? So, I mean, I never Google stuff. I never look stuff up. Like, I like to immerse myself in the world, so I just go in there and I just find stuff and I just explore. Like, if I learn, like a raid fight, I learn it from doing the fight. Like, it's not that I'm opposed to it or I think it's a bad idea. It's a little bit from laziness, but I don't Google stuff. Like, It's just not the way I play. Because to me, like, some people play games and look at them like kind of like, oh, I'm experiencing a story. I'm looking at it like I'm watching a movie. I'm reading a book, but I get to do the stuff. Like, I put myself in the world and I like mentally, like, it's just the way I play games. I'm like pretending like I'm in that world. That's why vibe matters so much to me. So I've been to the Chocobo Square and I just thought there was Chocobo racing. I didn't realize that was there. Like, anything that I've done in the Golden Saucer has only been because I've stumbled across it.
Well, now I have a new thing to stumble across.
God, I'm so excited. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll like it. I mean, I almost famously love stuff that a lot of people hate. Dawn Trail, not everyone's favorite expansion. I love Dawn Trail. So everyone half our subscribers. No.
I'm famously notorious for not liking PvP, but I do like Lord of Vermilion, but not the PvP portion of it. I just like doing it against the computer. So I've done all the challenges and stuff on it. Takes a bit to get used to how to play the game because it's totally not intuitive. But once you figure it out and you're like, oh, okay, this is what this button does, this is what this does, and these are what the characters do, it's very kind of min-maxy in that sort of way too, because you can set up your teams to like, oh, I need a faster team to get to here, or I need a slower team to go stop these guys. So it's kind of fun that way.
It looks neat. Yeah, I know for anyone listening, I know you don't like PvP. It kind of makes sense. I mean, you're like one of the nicest guys I know. And there is that mentality that some people have with PvP where, well, if I win, then that means I take something from you or you lose. And I think you just don't like seeing people lose.
No, it's more along the lines of I don't like my competitive nature because sometimes what happens is, that whole trash talk comes out and I'm kind of evil when it comes to trash talking. I just don't want to do that.
I love how you're like the nicest guy I know, and you're like, no, I'm evil. Do not cross me, buddy. I will cut you.
You should. I think I've shared some of the trash talking texts I've had with people. Yeah. And like, I just rub it in their face even more. It's sad.
But I mean, you don't even do like Mario Kart, like competing online. Like you just completely refrain from PvP. You're just not a PvP guy.
Yeah, like, for example, Diablo 4, I'm really close to getting the trophy on that one, but I'm just never going to get it because it requires 5 PvP kills, so I just can't do it. So,
but I told you I'll take one for the team. We can log on together. I'll stand there and you can kick me in the Jimmy 5 times.
And then you can do it back to me, and then we'll both have it, and it'll be done.
That's right. We'll take turns kicking each other in the Jimmy. All right, you heard it first.
But that's literally the last trophy I need in Diablo, and it's done.
Nice. Yeah, I need to get back in there. I have you know, the expansion. I'm really looking forward to playing the 3rd chapter on Diablo. I've just been so buried in Final Fantasy VII. Like, Diablo is one of those games, like, up until a year or so ago, I thought I'd never play a Diablo again after Diablo 3, but I got sucked into it, and I don't know, I looked at my Xbox. I don't know how this happened, but my Xbox says that I have, like 400 hours in Diablo 4. I guess I went a little harder than I thought. But... it kind of comes in waves. I was so excited to see the final chapter with Lilith and stuff, and I'm just not feeling it right now. And, you know, I bet I think I like Diablo in the winter. I bet when like November or something rolls around, I'll be in the mood, and, you know, it's just sitting there waiting for me, and I'll finish that story up, you know?
Well, you'll hear about the next season. You'll be like, oh yeah, I got to get that mount or that minion from that season. And then you'll get back to the grind.
You know, what's funny? I like some of the stuff they give you, and so, you know, I think the last time when I played Diablo 4, I thought they did a really good job with the seasons. Like, it was compelling, it was fun to do the quests. Like, they do a really good job at making like attainable, like just checklists of things to do. Like, they're absolutely killing it, I think, on that, which from what I understand, they weren't for a long time. I think it's in a better place now than it used to be. But it's funny, they have like real cash shops with just the most stupid prices. And I don't want to spend a dime because it's like, okay, well, I got some little, it's like this big on the screen as I'm paid like $19.99 for this tiny little piece of crap that I can't even see. Like, yeah, I guess they're making money on it though. So, you know,
the lure of Diablo for me isn't the aesthetics. It's chasing the grind, right? Yeah. Where you need that 1 or 2% more thing to be able to go do the next stage of the thing, right? So it's always kind of the grind to get stronger.
You know, I play Diablo with a controller, so for me, it's one of those games I can sit on the couch and I can just go like, you know, it's just one of those where a lot of games I have to think. Diablo, you don't think. It's like a power fantasy. You just go into a cave and just destroy everything in it. And anyways.
I love it, though.
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It is a classic for a reason. All right, I think that's about it for the show today. It's too bad Haz wasn't here, but you know what? I have a great time chatting with you, Ashen. I mean, you're my favorite person to talk video games with. Don't tell Haz I said that, because when Haz is here, Haz is my favorite person to talk video games with. No, I'm just kidding. No, you guys are both awesome. I love talking about video games, and I love talking about Final Fantasy, all of them. And that's what we do here, so... Is there
even the bad Final Fantasies are good? Like, so if you hear me trashing on 16, it's not because I think it's a bad game. I just think it needs more RPG stuff, and that's a critique that means, hey, I want to enjoy this game more, right?
You know, it's funny. I didn't realize that, because I know it's kind of like, you know, at least to me, famously not your favorite Final Fantasy, but like, you know, I still played through all the way through the story 4 or 5 times, and so I mean, when you say that you don't like something, you can say it with experience, whereas, you know, a lot of people, you always hear Reddit opinions. They're like, oh, I don't like 13, and they probably played like an hour of it, you know?
Yeah. I hear that a lot for games. Somebody like, oh, I only played like 10 minutes of this game and I don't like it. I'm like, okay, what did you not like about it? I just didn't like it. Okay, cool.
Where I feel like if I spent $10 or more on a game, I'm still going to give it a while. You know, I'm not the great at like follow through and beating all the games I play, with the exception of kind of my Final Fantasy journey right now. You know, like, but I mean, I think I fired up like Assassin's Creed Odyssey recently, and I played like 15 hours of it, and I knew I wasn't going to finish it, but you know what? I had a good time in there. It was a fun world to like run around in, and, you know, I had a good time, and I probably won't go back to it and finish it. Yeah. But, you know, I played enough of it that I know what the game's about. You know, I'm really good at playing between 10 and 20 hours of games.
So I have the Assassin's Creed Ezio collection, I want to say, and I'm thinking about running through that at some point in time and trying to get the trophies. But I don't know if it's worth it or not, because from some of the things I've been reading online, is they're very kind of the whole open world Ubisoft thing, where it's like it tells you exactly where to go to get the thing. So the sense of exploration is kind of lost on it. So, but we'll see. I'll do a test run and see if I like it or not, and then decide.
My experience, I've only played Odyssey, and it felt like they would tell you where to go, but there's a lot of things like you still don't know where to go once you get in there. You know, so you use your eagle to kind of try to pinpoint things. So there's still some like, you know, digging in under the layers once you get there. But what I thought it was great at is while I'm on the way to go do that, you know, I found a cave on the way that had something in it, you know, and there's like a puzzle in there where I had to like swim underwater to like come up inside of like another area. And then I found like some dudes hanging out in there, like hiding stuff with a boss, you know, so there's like little layers to explore. And that's, you know, I've heard that game Crimson Desert is like really good at that, just going around the world, and like everything you go, there's just, you know, tons of like, oh, well, this guy's here behind this hidden door, you know, like I love that kind of stuff. I love a world that feels like you could live in it.
And that's kind of where I want 14 to be going for their world, right? I want them to start doing that, kind of being rewarded for exploring the overworld, because right now it's just, you know, go talk to NPC A, go talk to NPC B, go grab this Aether, go talk to NPC 3, right?
Yeah.
I want more exploration in the world, and I hear that might be coming soon. So
yeah, I think Yoshi P actually said, I'm not quoting him exactly, but I'm paraphrasing fairly close, that he says he feels like the worlds that they've created have kind of been wasted. You know? And so if they do something like Guild Wars 2, because that's what I love about Guild Wars 2, it's like every corner you turn, and it's not just the same thing, like, you know, here you might find a puzzle. Here you might find a guy, like, you know, I went and killed these bad guys in like one of the little circles in Guild Wars 2. And when I came back, you know, he's like, oh, and here's the stuff I have to sell. Because Guild Wars 2, for anyone that hasn't played it, as you explore the map, it's very much like an explore the map type of game. As you unlock stuff, every time you unlock stuff, a new vendor will open up. And you never know what they're going to sell. Sometimes they sell weapons. Like this one guy sold a thing that, like, if I drink it, I morph into a frog that can now shoot a blowgun at bad guys and stuff. And so it's just, you just never know what you're going to find. And I want more of that. I don't want to be like, all right, each world has 5 new things, and if you unlock the 5 things, then you get then you get the mount for that area or something. I want to explore and not know what I'm going to find. Like, oh, if I dig in here, there might be like a minion that I find, or if I dig in here, it might be like, you know, a new piece of gear, or this just might unlock a new puzzle to play. You know, just, I love the I don't know what you're going to find of it, and I'm just worried, and hopefully they don't just make it like a real, like a formula. You know what I mean?
I know. Well, it's got to be kind of somewhat formulaic, because they have to be able to mass produce it in some kind of capacity. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of solution they find for it.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, I think that's one of the weakest points of 14. And it's one of the points that they're addressing, which I'm super happy about.
Mm-hmm. You know, and, you know, some people might say, well, they do have the treasure hunting. But to me, I mean, I haven't done a ton of treasure hunting, like treasure dungeon stuff. I've done a little bit. But it's like, you've got to spend some money or put together a treasure map. And then you got to, like, the treasure map tells you where to go. I mean, just straight up, no compass, no map, just exploring the world and discovering stuff. And having some stuff be so hidden that some players, you know, there might be something like buried under a rock, you know, off north of Tuliulal that like players didn't find for 3 months, or maybe till the next expansion. You know, like I love hearing stuff on, you know, news clips on video games where they're like, oh, players finally discover something in Halo that they never found, or like, I love that kind of stuff. You know, I want that.
I kind of hope it's not server side. I hope it's like client side. So like if you find treasure chest A behind, you know, outcrop B, I go there. It's not there for me, right? It's my own treasure chest is going to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Oh, that would be neat. Yeah, I remember the last expansion that I played on Warcraft was the Lich King one. Like I kind of ducked out about the middle of that. But they had a thing where there's this whole area up in the north where it's like frozen and water, and you can like go off the edge of the world and you can kind of walk around there. And I was always thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if they actually like hid some stuff? When I found out, like, in one of those caves somewhere, there actually, if you really went around the nooks and crannies that felt like you shouldn't even be there because the screen's like half black and you just feel like you're on the edge of the map, there was like a little Murloc pet that you could like dig up.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I think it took a while for people to like find out about it and stuff. So, I mean, of course, you know, once people find it, it's on the internet, which speaks to what you're saying. If it was local, it wouldn't be the same place for everybody.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
And it would be, I know people would complain about this. It would never work. Like, you know, I'm sure like Reddit would have a meltdown if not everybody got the same stuff. But you could trade 100%. Like maybe you were able to get fat cats, you and I was able to get Spriggans or something like that, like a minion. And you couldn't just like farm Spriggans and sell them on the thing, but it would be more like, well, you could trade a minion with somebody else who didn't have one, you know, like the way Animal Crossing does. And
it'd be cool if like they gave a unique ID on it too, like a tag that says this was found in Corthus by Buddycat, and then mine was found maybe in the hinterlands by Ashen. And then when we traded them, that tag stayed on it, so that way it references the memory too.
Oh, that'd
be kind of cool. Yeah,
you know,
you can only trade it once. You can only trade the one specific person if you want to trade it, and then you get a little tag in inventory forever.
Yeah, I mean, and people oftentimes are like, "Well, that's not fair. If we don't have everything in our game, I shouldn't have to like talk to like other players to get something." Well, that's where I just have like a hard disagree. You know, like Animal Crossing, like my island only has apples. I don't have peaches on my island. If I want peaches, I have to find somebody who has peaches. You know,
well, you have to have some kind of diversity, and that comes to the core of what a lot of people who don't play 14 have with 14 is there's not enough diversity. Like if I'm a paladin and you're a paladin, we're the same paladin, and that's a big problem. There's not enough diversity in the game, and that adds a bit of diversity, not with combat, but with the exploration. And I think that needs to follow, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's where, like, I mean, I have no idea where Warcraft is at. Now I've even, like, seen things about, like, they have, like, one-button rotations, and I don't know what's going on there. But back in the day, along with, like Guild Wars 2 is, like, you could pick a class, but the weapon you choose will make the gameplay completely different, you know? And, like, Guild Wars blows my mind that you only have one little action bar, but there are so many options for how you do combat, and the combat is so dynamic. It just gets me thinking, my God, I can't wait to see what 3 is going to look like.
Oh yeah, it should be interesting for sure, man. See, we were supposed to end the podcast, and here we are still talking about video games because we love video games.
I know. I got a lot of stuff to do today too. I have like about a 2-hour window to get this podcast mixed down and get it uploaded because, you know, we try to record Thursdays, but no matter when we record, the goal is to get a new episode out every Friday. So
yeah.
So yeah, we should probably wrap up, and I should probably get to doing that. We didn't have any problems or, you know, audio video issues or anything I got to edit out this week. So, like you know, I didn't stand up and have my butt crack show or anything this week. So that didn't happen.
Just gotta edit Hozaho's voice in every so often, and then we're golden.
Oh yeah, I should do that. Oh God, that would be funny. You know, I need a Hozaho clip on my board. You know, like one of these where I just. All right.
I love it.
All right. Well, on that note, before we leave, do you want to let everybody know what you're doing if they want to catch up with you outside of this podcast?
Saturday mornings on Twitch from 8 to 10. I've been playing Wild Arms. Twitch handle is Ashen Sugar at twitch.com. Come by and make fun of my gaming.
That's what we do. The Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity, and the spelling is always in the show notes for everybody. And I'm Buddycat, and you can find anything about any of our podcasts, where you can listen to them, all the links to where you can get them, all that sort of stuff is at buddycat.gg. And also, if you guys would like, I would encourage you to join our Discord. If you want to see pictures of Hoz's fish, that would be the place to do that. You can get to the Discord from the main buddycat.gg, or you can just go buddycat.site/Discord. It's a lot to remember, but all that's in the show notes, so you don't even have to worry about it. Although
copy paste it.
Yeah, you have to copy paste it because YouTube doesn't do links. But yeah, buddycat.gg will get you everything that you need. Yeah, you can also reach out to us too if you have any questions. You know, maybe we'll read them on the air if you have something cool to say. If you're just mean to us, well, we'll probably still read it on the air.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Be mean, it's fine.
All right, well, that wraps it up for today. I will see you guys next time, and I'll probably see you before then, Ash.
All right, sounds good, guys.